So Congress has passed the Crucial Teaching Communism Act, or I'm sorry, Crucial Communism Teaching Act. A little dyslexia there. And it looks like it's going to pass the Senate. And this is an old model where back during the Cold War, public schools used to teach anti-communism. Essentially, it was an answer to it was a pushback against the Soviet. There were agents that were trying to penetrate American culture, and so the United States, the federal government, was pushing back by teaching this curriculum in all public schools. So now there's a lot of things to take apart here. First of all, there shouldn't be a Department of Public Education on the federal level. The department was based on a perversion of the Commerce Clause. It's a violation of the 10th Amendment. Education is a 10th Amendment issue. And in fact, I would even argue that governments should not be involved in education at all. Do you really want the government to teach your kids, considering what the government has shown itself to be in the last number of decades? Even on principle, do you really trust a body of force that has expanded itself and robs people at gunpoint and calls it taxation, and they're going to teach your kids? No. People should not be for public education to begin with. But even if you had public education, it definitely should not be on the federal level. And even at that, it's actually a good thing that they're battling communism, but very critically, the question is why? And by what approach are you, quote, fighting communism? Are you promoting capitalism? Are you fighting just certain elements of communism? One of the problems was back during the Cold War is that people never justified the reason why capitalism was a better system in a moral and ethical way. A lot of times their arguments were as solid as Swiss cheese. I mean, there was so many problems with it. Like the religious right would say that communism was nihilistic and atheistic. Therefore, communism is anti-Christian, which is true. But in Christianity, they advocate for altruism all throughout, that ideology. And so, altruism is the basis of communism also. So it's not really a good defense. There are other, things, people would say that, well, capitalism, historically it works better, which is true. It does work better. But why? Why does it work better? And this is where I push this woman right here, Ayn Rand, did an excellent case. She actually that is her philosophy. Her political philosophy advocates for capitalism, and she's staunchly anti-communism. And she says it's a moral issue, which it is. Capitalism is a system where free market capitalism is a system where you don't have some body of force that inhibits a person, a productive person, a worker, an entrepreneur, from being productive, from being acting in a selfish way in order, thereby producing the results of advancing mankind technologically, or increasing his standard of living by doing all sorts of things. It's that enforcing altruism is evil. It is immoral. And that's the reason why communism has to be fought. Communism is a practice where altruism is being forced. Religion does the same thing too, by the way. So religionists don't have a moral leg up on the communists, specifically in that sense. Now, there's a lot of other things that are involved with that. But this bill, Crucial Communism Teaching Act, it signals that the establishment knows that there's a problem amongst the left and a growing desire for socialism. And my guess is that these are special interests. These are corporations that are merged with government, which is by no means free market capitalism. In fact, in a sense, it's actually a form of socialism in itself. It's corporate socialism. But my guess is that they want to teach the public not to buy into socialism, which, like I said, the headline of it itself is all well and good. But, again, the devil is in the details. You can't do it like this. Really, there needs to be an abolishment of public education on the federal level, especially, and I would even argue throughout everywhere. Education ought to be privatized. I think then you would have companies competing for a better education system. That, hey, our company, we teach our kids better than this company does. You introduce the competitiveness. It would actually save a lot of money in the economy because they could do it a lot more efficiently with a whole lot less bureaucracy than what the government does. And it wouldn't be you wouldn't be fighting communism for the wrong reasons. Potentially, hopefully, they could be doing it for the right reasons. They could say that capitalism, laissez-faire capitalism, is a moral system because you're not hindering the people that produce. You're not biting the hand that feeds you. You're not, strangling the goose that lays the golden egg, so to speak. So, anyway, I've rambled enough. That's my take on that. I'll put a link in the description below of this article.